What is the deal with hashtags on Pinterest? Well, hi, I'm Teresa Toledo, Pinterest expert strategist, and I have helped dozens of business owners and creators to thrive on Pinterest in the last 6 years. Now, make sure to subscribe and watch until the end to learn what is going on with hashtags on Pinterest and more. Well, recently I've been seeing some content creators talking about some kind of Pinterest hashtag hack. It got me thinking about those hashtags, and it reminded me about why we don't really use them on Pinterest all that much and why I usually don't recommend them. In fact, Pinterest told us in 2 recent webinars that hashtags are not native to the platform, are not native to the pinner experience, and that keywords are way more important. But what are hashtags? Hashtags are a way to label your posts on social media. You see them all over TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media platforms. They might be one word or they may be several words together. They may be made up sentences, but they're always formatted with the little hashtag or pound symbol in front of them, like hashtag this. Hashtags are a way for people to engage with certain algorithms, and by clicking on a hashtag on other platforms, you are able to tell the algorithm what kind of content you are looking for in the search results, and then that platform shows you results based on the hashtag you are looking for. Now let's talk a little bit about hacks versus strategies. And keep in mind that I always value strategies and tactics that work in the long term and no quick fixes. Now, these so-called hashtag hacks that some creators are bragging about may even get your content a little bit of visibility or engagement, temporarily, but not that much. And honestly, these hacks aren't just as useful. Hacks are pretty much like band-aids. They may work to fix your problem in the short term, but in the long run, they're not gonna get you ahead. Now, hacks are kind of a novelty and not much else. When I'm thinking about Pinterest, I always like to think about strategy, about doing things and making changes that are viable in the long term and that will give us long, real results. So let's talk a little bit about how hashtags would work on Pinterest and think about it, or if you should even incorporate in your pinning strategy. So there was a time on Pinterest when they tried to implement hashtags. Actually, they turned hashtags off and on more than once. Now, the problem with this, in my opinion, is that when people are searching for things on Pinterest, they don't use hashtags in front of the word. Actually, let's say if they're looking for something like crochet cat hat, they're just gonna go and type it in. They're not gonna put hashtag crochet cat hat. Duh. Hashtags only work when a lot of people are using them and when the platform makes them work. So when this was working a few years ago on Pinterest, and Pinterest was pretty much trying hashtags, they would show up on the pin descriptions, they would be turned blue on the comment section or even in the description part of the pin, and they were clickable hyperlinks. You could click on it and end up seeing a bunch of pins that were relevant to that hashtag. Now, that doesn't mean that only the pins with the hashtag would work. Pinterest was pretty much kind of seeing that hashtag as a keyword. Now, when those hashtags are not exactly clickable, they pretty much lose some of the utility. What is the point of having a hashtag something if when you click on it, nothing happens? And to be honest, I did a little experiment after I saw those most recent hashtag hacks. After all, I need to try them, right? I wanted to see how useful they were or they were not. So what I did is that I tried to create an idea pin. I added a hashtag to the pin description or note. Nothing happened. It did not become clickable once I published that pin. Then I went to the comment section of that pin and I commented something and added a hashtag, a very broad hashtag, very generic, such as Pinterest marketing, hashtag Pinterest marketing. Well, it did turn blue. It did become clickable once published. And once I clicked on it, Pinterest showed me other pins that somehow Pinterest thought were related to that hashtag. Now, the thing is that this is a little unpredictable. I don't see the point of creating a lot of pins with hashtags if I don't know if they're gonna be clickable or not? And you could tell me, well, but the hashtags are telling the algorithm what is the deal with that pin, what is that pin all about? But isn't that why we use keywords for? If we are using keywords to tell Pinterest what is each and every pin about, we don't need hashtags. Now, since we don't know for sure if hashtags work or not, instead, I would rather see you focusing on keywords, which we know will always work to help Pinterest understand and index and distribute your content. Now, when you're using Pinterest to grow your business, you need to think about how to be smart when you're trying new things, when you're trying those hacks, when you're putting tactics in place. It is great to take risks and to push your boundaries and to try new things, but I really don't want you wasting your time. So instead of focusing on hacks, let's talk about strategies that actually work. Think about what Pinterest is used for. When you put a little thought into how people search and what they're looking for, you will really begin to see how being smart about how you put your time and effort can help you grow your Pinterest presence faster. Keywords and content are the kings of this platform. When you create good, high-quality content that gives value, that inspires, and you diligently do your keyword research, you will be able to expand your reach and get more visibility for your content. Now make sure to watch my next video so you can learn more about Pinterest marketing.